How's it going, Yankee fans? Welcome back to Fireside Yankees with your boys, Alex and Ryan. So the Yankees are in kind of purgatory right now. They don't know if they're going to sell. They don't know if they're going to buy. There's like 4 hours left until the deadline at 6 p.m., and we have no idea what they are doing. The smoke is that Dylan Carlson is their primary target. They're willing to offload some players. We're going to name those guys and kind of go through who is worthwhile exploring as a potential trade opportunity, getting some value back. But the truth is the Yankees aren't doing much because there's nothing they can really do. You know, Cody Bellinger's off the market. They lost out on a bunch of guys. They don't want Teoscar Hernandez. They don't want Tommy Pham. They lost out on Marcana. Like, they didn't really do anything. And right now the team is in disarray. All you have to do, and what the Tampa Bay Rays did yesterday, walk Aaron Judge and let the rest of the Yankees order do the work for you. That's all you have to do. They literally just pitched around Judge. They made it look competitive enough that it was like, okay, we're not purposefully doing it, but they also did it obviously because he walked 2 or 3 times. I mean, it was evident that they were trying to avoid him at all costs and force the Yankees and other players to pick up the slack. And of course, the Yankees can't do that. And Cashman's sitting here like, what can we do to turn this thing around? Right now, it's hard to say there's much he can do because the market is so thin, Ryan. But looking at what's available, do you think that there is still a world where the Yankees add some pieces? And if they do, in my opinion, it should be guys with control because at least you're thinking about 2024 and beyond. If you are bringing in some guys, the rentals are off the market. Candelario's gone. Even the Angels and Cubs, who are arguably worse than us in terms of record, are doing more than us and trying to compete. So, kind of says a lot about where Cashman thinks this roster is, and it certainly isn't good. So how you feeling right now?
I don't feel great about this deadline so far. The Yankees, if they were going to buy, and, I'm seeing tweets right now that Jack Correa apparently said the Yankees aren't out on Hernandez and Pham. Those are the only 2 bats left, really. Like, Pham is the best hitter remaining on the market. Don't buy. If you're going to buy, as you mentioned, get guys with control, sell. Just pick a direction, right? Like, I'm not going to sit here and say that the Yankees selling means that, everything's going to turn out fine. It's going to be another 2016 deadline. They're going to get surplus value on every single trade. Like, no, I'm not suggesting that the Yankees are going to win all of those trades, but it's a chance, right? You're throwing out lottery tickets. It's better than holding these guys on and holding on to these guys and not doing anything. This team isn't very good. As you mentioned, this offense sucks, right? Like, Aaron Judge coming back obviously helps, but Stanton and Rizzo and LeMahieu they have to be better, and they're not. You're in a weird spot. Like, this team isn't very good. This team's pretty old. This team's pretty expensive. There are a lot of things they shouldn't be. I don't really see a reason why you should buy. And I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, the Yankees they'll get it done. Like, don't worry about it. We have 3 hours left, really, until the deadline. Around the time of this release, it'll be 2.5 hours, right? Last offseason, I remember us sitting here and saying, well, they'll get a left fielder, right? Or, no, they're going to move IKF. They're not going to start Josh Donaldson, right? We just assume these things because that made sense to us, right? And, I apologize for that. Like, the entire winter, I apologize for sitting back and kind of assuming good things would happen to the Yankees. That was, I think that caused a lot of the over-projecting and why this team feels like they are missing something because they didn't do the things they should have done. So I'm not going to sit here and assume they're going to do the things they should do. They've got to do something, right? I can sit here and defend the process. I can sit here and say, well, look at the track record with Brian Cashman over the span of 20 or so years. You know what I mean? But Alex, as a fan, right? Like, from the fan perspective here, where's the trust that the Yankees are going to do the right thing at the deadline? Where's the trust that the Yankees are going to make moves? Where's the trust that in the next 3.5 hours, the Yankees are going to sack up and say, you know what? Bite the bullet. We messed up. We're sorry. We're going to make some trades to get better for the future. That doesn't feel like this organization. And end of the day, there has to be a level of trust for you to assume something with someone or with an organization. You assume this team takes a reliever, makes them great. You don't assume this team goes out and makes the right moves at the deadline. They haven't for a very long time. End of the day, this is a really bad day for the Yankee organization. There are a lot of, and going forward for Fireside Yankees, this is going to be a weird year, right? Like, we are a year removed from, talking about Frankie Montas and Andrew Benintendi and all the additions. And, this team's fighting for a World Series. There's a shot this team can beat anybody. And now we're sitting here and we're last in the American League East. We don't really know what the future holds. We don't really know if Giancarlo Stanton's ever going to be good again. We don't know if Anthony Rizzo's ever going to be good again. We don't know how many years left we have of prime Garrett Cole and prime Aaron Judge. And we're just sitting here with the best hitter on planet Earth and arguably the best pitcher on planet Earth. And we're out of a playoff spot. So, Alex, I mean, we could talk about Dylan Carlson. We could talk about who they're moving, who they're getting for Bader, but that's the reality of it. They still don't have a third base and they still don't have a left fielder, and it's August 1st. So I don't know what else to say.
I mean, look, I'm seeing right now that Dylan Carlson, the Cardinals want a young MLB starting pitcher back. That's Clark Schmidt. You know, I don't know if we're willing to give Clark Schmidt, because right now the sellers, the guys that we would sell, Luis Severino, you could say Domingo Germán, had a good game yesterday, the armpit. I don't even know what the hell was going on yesterday. He can't pitch. Suddenly, Brito gives up 4 homers, and then suddenly he can pitch. I don't know what the hell the Yankees are doing sometimes. How is it possible that Germán's like, my armpit hurts, can't pitch? An hour later, he's fine. And this is already after the Yankees have given up 4 homers and are trailing 5-1. I just don't get it, man. I feel like sometimes the Yankees are trying to lose. Sometimes they're trying to drive us freaking crazy. And the fact that we have to sit there and watch them is pain. Like, a lot of people use sports as like escapism in life, like getting away from their jobs, getting away from... I got to go and be in pain to watch the Yankees, man. I got to finish work and keep watching the freaking pain. It hurts. It sucks watching the Yankees play right now. And listen, I am for this strategy right now, because there is nothing that we can do to make this team a championship caliber team right now. Sell as many pieces as you can. Get prospects in return. Guys, we got Clayton Beeter for Joey freaking Gallo last year. You can't tell me that the Yankees can't trade Harrison Bader or something, or some of these guys for decent prospects that are going to be okay. You know what I mean? Like, guys that we can develop. Some guys with upside. The truth is I'd rather just cash it in and give some of these guys, these youngsters, opportunities to play at the big league level. Give Oswald Peraza a healthy sample size. Give Everson Pereira a chance in the outfield. Give Austin Wells a chance. I don't know. Call up some of these guys who deserve an opportunity. Andreas Chaparro, plug him in at freaking third base. Let's see if he's got some power. Let's see if he can hit some MLB pitching. You know what I mean? Like, there is no reason for the Yankees not to be testing out some of their prospect to see if they can boost their value, maybe utilize that value during the offseason to trade for somebody, or simply maybe they stumble upon a guy and like, wait a second, this guy could be a starter for us, just like they lost with Ezekiel Duran. They just don't know. You don't know unless you try. And Peraza getting less than 60 fucking at-bats doesn't actually give you any information. The fact that we're treating him like shit, trade the guy already. He has been abused long enough. And I get the fact that people keep saying, or the analysts say, well, there's too many. We need the outfielders. We need Jake Bauers. We need McKinney. We need this guy. We need that guy. I don't fucking care. They all suck. Jake Bauers is a fine depth piece, but he's starting on an everyday basis. You need to give your youth opportunities. Otherwise, you're never going to know what the future holds. We don't want to trade him, but we also don't want to use him. Tell me how that makes any freaking sense. You know what I mean? Like, where is the logic there, Ryan? I know you're seeing what this team does. And the fact of the matter is, like, how do we sit here and justify the fact that we are unwilling to trade our prospects for good MLB caliber players that are young and controlled, but we also refuse to freaking use them? How do you feel about that? Because to me, it drives me freaking crazy, and I don't understand what the hell they're doing. It feels like malpractice.
Yeah, if you're seeing just more tweets from that Jack Curry, the Deadline show, they're not trading Glaber. They're unsure as to what they're doing still, and teams are inquiring about rentals, and the Yankees just, we're not sure what we're doing. This team is fucked. Brian Cashman doesn't know what he's doing. Like, I can't, like, I think I've been, like, considerably favorable to Brian Cashman for the span of however long we've been running this. And like, dude, it's August 1st. Right? It's August 1st with 3 hours to go. You don't know if you're buying or selling. That's crazy to me. That makes you a really bad front office. That makes you stupid. That makes you unbelievably stupid. I don't know what to say. Like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what else. Like, they're the worst RANTS team in their own division. They're the worst team in their division. They don't have, like, an outstandingly great future compared to other teams. Like, yeah, for as good as the Yankees farm is, the Orioles farm is better, right? The Rays have a pretty good farm and better player development. The Red Sox have a pretty good farm. The Jays, a lot of their young players have already graduated. So, yes, they don't have a great farm, but a lot of those guys who are in that great farm are major league contributors. What do the Yankees have? What do the New York Yankees have? Reasonably speaking, like, what do they have? They have Aaron Judge and Garrett Cole, and they're wasting them. These are the two best. These are two of the best players I'll ever see on the Yankees in my lifetime, and they're wasting them. There's no urgency, just a sense of, God damn it, we're the New York Yankees. Pick a goddamn direction. If you're so unwilling to sell, have that balls to the wall deadline. Yeah, sure. Maybe it'll mess up your future. But if you win one World Series, who cares? At least you can sell that to me. At least I can understand it. If you're going to sit here and do nothing, what have you accomplished this season? You've accomplished nothing. That's what this team is. It's good enough to accomplish nothing. It's good enough to have an above 500 streak. It's good enough to just make the playoffs. It's good enough to get stomped in the wild card. It's good enough to get embarrassed in the ALCS. I don't understand what this team sees that other teams don't. Other teams are not looking at the Yankees like, wow, this is an extremely well-run situation. Other teams are looking at the Yankees and taking their lunch money on the diamond. So I don't really understand here. The Yankees go to Baltimore and the Orioles absolutely tee off on Luis Severino. The guys who are part of that, young guys they drafted, and I understand that they tanked to get there. And I'm not saying I want the Yankees to win 55 games a year for 5 years. But do the Dodgers tank? When's the last time the Dodgers have been bad, right? And from 2012 to 2022, all they've done is draft really good players and supplement their roster with great players. So that excuse doesn't work for the Yankees. I just don't get it. I really don't. What are they doing? Maybe things change the next few hours, and I'm willing to be open to that. Again, new information changes opinions. I'm a big believer in that. But what the hell are they doing? What's the direction? You can't have no direction. And I don't want to see Cashman moves in silence. He's just throwing people off. Jack Curry's really in touch with what's going on here. I saw the quote from Jack Curry. They view Nestor Cortez and Jonathan Loáisiga as big trades. You're not good. You're not a good team. You are not good at baseball. This is not a team that's going to make the playoffs. This is not a team that's going to win the World Series. Your third baseman's DJ LeMahieu. He's an AARP member. The other guy you had at third is older than him. Your second baseman's Gleyber Torres. Gleyber Torres is a fine player, but you're asking for Braxton Garrett, Edward Cabrera, and 2 prospects for Gleyber Torres? The team's going to fart on the phone and hang up. What are we doing here? Your first baseman's Anthony Rizzo. He stinks. You mentioned starting Jake Bauers. Jake Bauers can't start in left field. I agree with that. He's a first baseman. That's how he came up. Put him at first base. What, because he's buddy with Aaron Judge? You're going to play him at first every day? I don't care who he's friends with. I don't care what he does. He's not good anymore. It's fine. Let him go elsewhere. Pay another team to take that contract. But this team, we walked into this year like, hey, Josh Alton won't start every day. IKF won't start every day. Hicks won't start every day. And all 3 of those things happened until Hicks got DFA'd, Donaldson got hurt, and they still keep starting IKF. And when they don't start IKF, they do it when he starts getting hot. You noticed yesterday, they don't play IKF, but they have to have Rizzo on the lineup. They can't just put Bauers at first and IKF at left. I don't get it, Alex. I really don't. What the fuck are we doing? This team sucks. What are we talking about with, we're not going to buy, but we're not going to sell? You suck. Just do something. At least the Cubs picked a direction. I'm not sure it's the right one, but they picked one. Alex, what can they even do? What is the thing they're going to do? I don't have any faith they're going to do anything.
DJ LeMahieu was an ARP member. Absolutely just killed me. Oh my God. Well, listen, if you didn't see it, Justin Verlander was just traded back to the Astros. So you tell me, man. I mean, look, everyone's picking a direction. The Astros have the last spot in the wild card. They just smacked the Yankees in the teeth. Verlander going back to the Astros means the Yankees, not only did they not pick a direction, but their chances of getting into the wild card just took a serious hit. So you tell me, selling makes sense. Harrison Bader, Luis Severino, get a bag of fucking rocks for him. He's garbage. Herman, you could probably get something for him. He's inconsistent, but when he's on, he's on. He's good. IKF, good utility piece, can help supplement some things. The Blue Jays apparently inquired about him before they went and got somebody. They went and got somebody. De Jong. There are guys on this team that are valuable. Gleyber Torres isn't going anywhere. So now we ask ourselves, what is the direction that Cashman picks? And in my perspective, you got to sell right now. You got to sell call up the kids, give them an opportunity. That's a direction. There's a direction that there's hope in that. There's hope in giving our prospects opportunities to play. It's something that we can stand by and actually get excited about. Yes, we're not really competing. Yes, we're kind of shitty this year. But you know what? We get to see Everson Pereira. We get to see Austin Wells. We get to see maybe some guys that we aren't, Carlos Narvaez. We get to see some prospects that are exciting for the future. And I think that we can actually find solace in that, Ryan. And I'll let you kind of wrap it up on that chord. I think that there is value, and I would be happy to see the Yankees give their prospects an opportunity to play and sell off some remaining pieces on rental deals. I think that's a fine avenue if that's what the resort comes to, and I think that that's kind of what we're looking at right now.
Yeah. The Astros got Justin Verlander. You know what I mean? Like, you can't even say you can't get a deal done. The Astros don't have a top 100 prospect. The Yankees have 6, according to Baseball America. Like, Brian Cashman can't sit back and say he can't make a deal. Like, this is like we're talking about. Are they going to play the young players? Like Austin Wells. It took Jose Trevino like fucking obliterating his wrist for Austin Wells to get a call up. Like Everson Pereira's. Like, he still needs some time probably to develop. Oswald Peraza, like, they sent him down. He's not with the team. And they're not going to move LeMahieu. His contract stinks. They're not going to bench him because that's not what they do. They're going to keep playing Rizzo, so that doesn't open up another spot in the infield. Like, Alex, I don't really know what to tell you, man. LeMahieu and Rizzo are here next year, too. Like, they're not going to – these guys aren't going anywhere. This is going to look like the same team we've been watching for months, and they did nothing to fix it. Like, I'm done. Like, Brian Cashman's got to go. Like, nah, I'm sorry. Like, there's no acceptable Brian Cashman can stay take if by 6 o'clock nothing crazy happens. You don't have to buy. You don't have to win the World Series this year. I've said that a million times. But, like, we trust these guys to get the job done. Like, do you trust Brian Cashman to be the guy who guides this team out of this year? He had his chance after 2021. He had a big chance after 2016. He botched both. That's on him. Bad luck, like good process, bad results works for like 1 or 2 years. It doesn't work for over half a decade. You can't good process, bad results your way from 2017 to 2023. Like people will say, oh, well, they fielded competitive teams, or, they could have traded for Garrett Cole because he wouldn't have been that good with the Yankees. So he needed to go to the Astros to fix himself. That's because the Yankees didn't have cutting edge pitching data the way the Astros did. People can say, oh, well, we didn't sign Harper because we got Stan. It's the New York Yankees. They could have signed both. There are so many mistakes we can go back to. We're here. Aaron Judge is like, he wasted another year of his prime. I'm sorry that Aaron Judge has to go through this. Garrett Cole's having the best year he's ever had as a Yankee, and they're wasting everything he does. I apologize to Garrett Cole. He came over here to win a World Series. Everyone else can go kick fucking rocks outside the bullpen. Everyone else, like, you're the fucking reason this team's the way that it is right now. It's got to change. It's got to do better. A lot of the guys in that locker room have to look at themselves, but the front office isn't supporting these guys. They're not picking a direction here. Like, if you're Anthony Volpe and you're sitting in that dugout right now, you're like, damn, this team is getting younger and it's going to get better, and everyone else around us got better or picked the direction. And it's like, why are you even showing up to the ballpark today? Like, you show up to the ballpark, you're probably fucking demoralized. How many times do you hear stories of teams who, like, they didn't add at the deadline, the players just give the most disheartening quotes you've ever seen right after? Brian Cashman isn't supporting this team. Hal Steinbrenner isn't supporting this team. Whoever's in charge of them not having direction they're not directly supporting this ball club. And if you're the players in that team, number one, you have to play better, obviously. But number two, this doesn't feel good, probably. And as a front office, you failed. You failed Aaron Judge. You failed Garrett Cole. I hope you feel great about that.
I think that's kind of the sentiment right now. Is like they're failing the guys that they committed so much to. Now we see what happens. We see the journey that unfolds before us. And like you said, I don't really think Cashman's the guy to lead us into the promised land. I just don't think, over a decade without a World Series, over $1 billion spent. For me, it's time for fresh blood. It's time for a new perspective. It's time for just another kind of perspective. And this team, it seems like there's no chemistry, there's no communication, there's no balance, and there's no commitment. They're all over the place. Is it if you're going to hire all these guys that aren't analytical, but then you're also following analytics, and it's like this balance, and like it's healthy to have a balance, and I think it's possible. But the Yankees just have too many cooks in the kitchen. You know what I mean? They have too many guys that just it doesn't make sense at times, and I don't really know if we can sit here and justify it any longer. So we'll see what happens, my friends, and always happy to hear perspectives below in the YouTube comments. Make sure to like and subscribe as always, and we'll catch you guys on the next Fireside Yankees episode.